Talk about it in a second here. Okay. All right. We are live. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Get TikTok going too. There we go. Hope you had a good weekend. Took advantage of that extra hour. Your 49-hour weekend. For a change, you get one of those every year. That was it. Hopefully you didn't blow it all on drugs and hookers. So the weekly chart on the market, let's take a look at it because it is of interest. And we look at the growth market chart because that's the one that really is moving, is leading the markets. So the Qs are where we can get that information from. What we see is a swing high a few weeks back. That's when you have a higher high, followed by a lower high and preceded by a lower high. That was immediately followed by a swing low, which then lasted 1 week before what we got last week, which was putting in another swing high. So we are technically we're ranging here. However, at any point we could break a prior swing low and would be in a continuing downtrend. And right now the indication is downtrend. But when you put it all together, the narrative starts to become, see if I can draw a line there. Yeah, starts to become ranging. So we're sort of bottom ranging, no conviction to the upside or the downside, really. And but sentiment across the entire week last week and the week before does put us to where we're probably going to be hunting lows for at least today and tomorrow, maybe Wednesday as well, or even Thursday. But by the end of the week, there's a chance that we've bounced off of some kind of a swing low bottom and have come back into the last week's price range. That's one potential thing going on here. The other one is that it's time and they want the market to drop. And we have a very bad red week. So far, there's those two possibilities I'm painting out there. But both those theses you should be aware of involve hunting lows, and so we may be bearish today and tomorrow, or bullish today and bearish tomorrow, but we're likely to be at least testing last week's various lows. Let's pull up the daily chart on that. These lows and all these different significant price levels. Last week's close on Thursday, last week's close on Friday, Friday's low, Thursday's low. Those levels, just because of the way the weekly is configured, are likely to be tested. And in fact, the way the daily is configured as well. I mean, we are 1, 2, 3 days into a down swing on the daily chart on the growth markets. And we are sitting at potentially a downswing on the today. See, if today stays green, then on the daily chart, it could send us sideways into a range chop. So how today plays out will be key for the rest of the week. If today goes red and wants to hunt Friday's lows, that is the likely scenario, by the way, then that does set us up for quite a bearish week. All right, looking at momentum stocks, let's see here. Chris, you said Dash long looking good. Why? What's up there? Dash was at 47 on Friday. Or is that Thursday? Friday. What's going on Dash? I'm not seeing much of a difference here unless my charts are a day off. All right, well, other picks right now are VERU, which came up. SPRC just started to come up. GCT looks like it could move to 750. GCT. And DWAC, of course, on Friday was at 17 and now is at 20, hitting 23. But it's had these little fits numerous times, and every time it is met with selling off. So, that's just the way DWAC is now. Yeah, SPRC. Somebody else says, I think we're going to have a huge week. Yeah. Well, good. Okay, great. That is possible. But I will say that we're up against a lot. We have tons of resistance points overhead, tons of recent overhead congestion. So, it's not free to move like that. You'd have to have overwhelming fundamental reason why. So that could be there. I mean, maybe earnings reports, analyst reports, and the election results being finalized tomorrow night. This week could have a lot of lift. Every time the election results were done, election day was finished, it released a lot of tension in the markets, and the VIX at least drops after that. And when that happens, that can cause the market to go up. So this could be a second chance. If you're long, if you have that long thesis on the election, this could be a second chance now to get good prospects and entries at low prices. All right, we've got like less than 4 minutes, I think. We've got almost 3 minutes until the market opens. And it really is just chopping, ranging, and has not taken much direction. In the London session, it had a little bit of a boost, but probably will pull back at the open and try to play around with that area. So I'm guessing red at the open. If it's not red at the open, then it could be setting up for a short. Right, GCT starting to curl up a little bit, back to VWAP. Perhaps you got a quarter position started. That is one of the better looking prospects this morning. Then if you want to get DWAC, it's very volatile, but it's not quite at mid value right now. It's a little overpriced, but maybe if you can get it for 21.50 off the open, that'll give you a good risk reward to have something to play with. Do I think Apple will bounce up this week? Probably, on the election tension release. Meta moving, Octa gap fill up. Okay. All right, the market's going to open in 1 minute. And right before the open, it's pulling up. It's really rangy and has a lack of direction right now. On the NASDAQ futures, NQ, NASDAQ, you're looking at 10,900 to short. All right, 15 seconds. ARQ, I don't know, I'll take a look at it. All right, we've got swing entry on BTU, by the way, swing 100 entry on BTU. Let's take. It's crossing trend line and a buy for swing 100 BTU. Get it while it's cheap. That alert is going out. The market being bought up right now, by the way. Yep, we're getting the alerts on BTU. Okay, that BTU alert just went out for swing 100. If you're more experienced, you understand that you always get at the beginning of the day something like a quarter of your goal position size. Follow that up at the end of the day if it worked out, or at some point in which it seems to be working out with more, and then tomorrow on follow through, or another day on pullback. All right, let's see how the bears play out here. The bulls on the open got that far. The bears stronger. The bears just broke the open's low. So this is what I'm talking about. I think that today is going to be a bearish day overall. It looks like on the open, we're getting that sign already. So I'm going to sell into a 70% pullback. Market, once we get it, it's 10,950. VERU kind of curving up over VWAP. That has some potential. GCT's flushing out. Looks like I drop it and then you reassess. SPRC fading at the open. DWAC went red right at the open, is now being bought up off the dip, but I would go on a high of day recapitulation to gain confidence that there could be any momentum going on there. VERU, I think VERU is looking somewhat the most promising right now. Momentum, it's at 13 and just getting over VWAP after having pulled back pre-market. It looks promising to me. So if you, VERU, good job. I think that one's panning out. The market's still coming down more. I'm looking for a short entry on the next pullback. Changing that to about 10,945. DWAC to back. It's a bear session. Yes, it really does seem like it. It's bear season. Yeah, that's a good one. It's bear season. So at the least, the Bears on their turn at bat, 2.5 times stronger than when the Bulls had their chance. So it seems to be a bearish day, and I think that's what's going to happen is we're going to hunt yesterday's low. So that could be a day swing for you, however you want to manage it. Right now, I'm just trying to get some kind of a better risk reward entry, fair value entry. And I'm kind of targeting a little imbalance that happened off of the opening bear push. All right, BTU, we got it. I have it on once per minute. No, once per bar, dude. That means once per day on the daily chart. I've had enough, you BTU. Dude, okay, that's probably the last one. Still can't get an entrance here on the market short, but it'll come. Doesn't matter. Make sure you wait for good risk reward. The Bears. BTU and ST doing great. Oh, BTU starting to do good. All right. I didn't even look at it yet. Oh, there it is over there. Yeah. Yes, it is. All right. Who got the BTU swing 100 entry at 28.50? It's already up $1. And this is a cheat entry, you guys. This is like a very clever early entry. Like, really, most people are going to be getting into this at the high break, 33.50. So you got in at 28.50. Very nice. And in fact, I would have wanted to have gotten in 22.50, but I really wasn't watching it enough. It just goes to show you can get earlier entries if you're really stalking these things. Okay, we're only like a quarter of the way down. No, like a fifth of the way down on Friday's prices. And I'm just basically stalking a situation where I put my money at the least amount of risk and draw down risk. And that would be some kind of a pullback, the first pullback here in the downtrend. But overall, it looks like my thesis is correct. We're going to hunt Friday's lows or Thursday's lows or, any of those significant points. This is roughly the first significant point. This is Friday's close, and we're breaking through it. All right, looking back at the momentum stocks here. Yeah, GCT showing fail out signs. I would drop it below 590. You haven't already. And you probably shall have de-risked a bit. Possibly. Because it had that flush below VWAP, which is a good plan B entry. Yeah, it's just if it breaks 595, 590, it's over. Okay, fun. I don't know. You have to tell me like for what. I don't know if I'm supposed to look it up on the intraday chart or the daily as an investment, as a day trade, for a short, for a long, let me know why, and I'll take a look at it for that reason. Chris wants to know if anybody got the Apple short. All right, good, Marcus. Got the BTU trade also. PHUN. What's up? Huh? No. I have to rephrase what you're saying there. I'm not sure. That fun is doing good. To fun. Fun is PHUN. That's what we're talking about. So you want me to check out something called FUNN? That's not what we're talking about, but okay, maybe it exists and that's what you're asking me to check out. No, no, we're talking about PHUN. There it is. And it was closed at $1.30 on Friday 20, and now it's $1.30. There's nothing going on there. It's been a waste of time to talk about it. All right, we're getting that pullback, and I'm really looking for some kind of a good low risk reward fair value here. Minimum 10,915. Hoping for a little better. Let's see. Here, 10,920. Be able to get 10,925. The idea here is to get a short entry subject to the least amount of drawdown risk so that it's possible to either A, hold all day. Whoa, BTU went red, you guys. Just go ahead and cut it. If you can get back in, just go ahead and cut it. You don't need that, or put a put on it, hedge it up. Let it be. That's what happens when you go quarter. That's what happens when you get in early on the day. You never quite know how that's going to play out. Right now you're at where you entered, I think. So it's not killing you at the moment, but you may want to slap a put on there just to like let it play out all day. See what happens. Carvana still falling. Did it hit $7 yet? Really? Wow. It's just dead. Everyone wants out. Give me my money back, Let me have my 25 cents. I mean, really, honestly, what do you have left? For every dollar, everyone has 2 cents left. That's how bad it fell. For every dollar that you put into Carvana at the highs, you now have 2 cents. You lost 98 cents of your dollar. Pretty crazy. All right, VERU's hanging out at VWAP. It's a decent sign. It's holding pivots and the pivots are going higher. So that's a decent sign on VERU. These things take time. Beely fading. I don't know if you're in Beely for anything, but Beely is fading, BILI. Yeah. Oh, wow. Carvana just on a full bleed out. How about that? Was at 9 at the open and is now almost 740. Wow. So fun for a day trade. I'm interested because of the volume. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be happening. I've got it up here. It's not the kind of price action you want. It's not liquid enough by far. Like it needs to be almost 100 times more liquid. All right, we're getting close to my potential entry here. I think I'm going to be able to get at about 10,925, but that might have been it. Possibly. We'll see. So you guys make sure you manage your BTU position. You had you had lots of slow motion time to be able to manage that. You could either cut it, get back in later at the end of the day, let it do it, let it do its weak moments now, or put a put on it. That can be good for if you're day trading and you can't, and you're under pattern day trading restriction. You could put a put on it, leave them both be, I guess, until tomorrow, but you could buy a call later to get back in at the end of the day to negate the put. So you have some options if you have PDT to manage it, but outside of that, just pull out, wait a little bit. You might even get a better price, or you might not even want it. By the end of the day, it might not be in a good spot anymore. We only need these to work out like 1 in 7 times. So it's completely normal for things to not work out 6 out of 7 times on the swing 100 trades. So oust or CN, and then for what? Asking for a friend. Yeah, but for what? There's so many different ways to play the market. For a swing, for a scalp, for a day trade, for an investment, for a long-term investment, for a short-term investment, to short. You gotta kind of let me know. So that way when I'm looking at it, I can tell you. And I'm not wasting time, and we don't have to go over it 3 times. Carvana at 7:38. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, that's 7:38. Long buy, a long buy. Okay, so that was oust, you said? All right. This screen, I can just tell you technical analysis wise. Their fundamentals are terrible, and I don't think that's going to change. Are you talking about OIST? Because that was up on the momentum screener today. OYST? Maybe you have the wrong information. Well, anyway, this one doesn't look good. Carvana's halted. Okay. Wow, Carvana is halted, guys. Probably they're like, can you get our stock price to stop falling? There goes the market falling. It looks like just missed entry by 4 points. Looks like that was the pullback. So it's very strong bullish day. So I'll get the next not so strong pullback. And the other one you said was CN, SIEN. Also terrible, and looks terrible. Yeah, at the moment, it's going to take, it would take at least 3/4 of a year, 9 months for SIEN to become attractive again. So there's no hurry on that. And I'm not saying that they'll ever do that, but if you think it's something interesting, it's not happening for 9 months at a minimum. There's a potential fair value entry at 10,888. So I'm going to move to that, give it a try. 10,888. So I'll go 10,887.25. Short. Imbalance entry, rather. VERU trying. Made my money for the day already. Good. On what? Yeah, VERU. I think VERU's price action is just fine. It's a little slow motion. Maybe it's hard to borrow. It's a little slow motion, but it's going up. Good. Yeah, that's probably the problem. It's not going to go parabolic. It's just going to grind. And that may cause a lot of people, day traders who have been putting money into it, to pull out later. So, I would just take profits every time you have them, defend your profits, buy back on pullbacks or dips. I don't think it's really flushed, and it wouldn't because it's HTB. All right, Carvana, gonna try and fill that gap a little, I guess. All right, the market is trying to fill some of that gap. I want maximum entry, not minimum entry. So 10,888 is what I'm looking for. And if I can't get it, that's okay. I don't want to subject my money to drawdown risk. Too much drawdown risk. Parabolic. Yeah, what did I say? Parabolic? Parabolic. I said parabolic. I don't know. That's just how I say it both ways. I don't even give a fuck. I can have multiple pronunciations. One day I can be eating a tomato and the next day a tomato. One day the stock goes parabolic, the next day it goes parabolic. Probably because I got two fucking brains, motherfucker. That Carvana story, that is just crazy, you know. Are we at 99% off the highs yet? At $7? It hit $7. I just gotta take a look at that because that's what a story that is. So the high was 3. Why does it not show high? Labels, high and price lows. Okay, 376.83, and it hit $7. So 7 divided by 376.83 minus 1. Ah, shit. It's still at 98.1%. Like when it hits 99% off its highs, I'm gonna buy a Carvana something. What do they call it? Tchotchke or whatever off of eBay. All right. Am I slapping the bass? Do I need to change microphones, guys? Something funky? Is it sounding robo? We are definitely getting some momentum shift here at the bottom, and I'm going to go and put my my entries back higher. where they were at 10,920 area. If I can get them before I think it's going to turn around and come up right now. I think I'm finally going to get my best entry price. Slapping the base. That was so funny. No, Dondrell says sounds fine, and Randy says sounds fine. That can happen. Yeah, Benjamin, it can happen to anybody, but it rarely happens to me. So it's probably you. How would you like to be the guy that bought Carvana at the high? Yeah. Well, the good news is this, that the person who bought at the high is still in the dumbest phase of their life. And so if that's the case, then they never really had a lot of money unless they just squandered like an inheritance or some large amount of money that they already had built up. I feel terrible then. But it is likely to, well, number one, teach that person some serious lessons. Everybody got some serious lessons at that. I don't know. I mean, do you think they're out there, people who bought at those highs, even in above 300, let's say, and they held all the way to here? Do you think that they did not learn their lesson and they see something else just flying and hitting like huge, massive highs, and they're buying that? Yeah. Some people have not learned their lesson. Yeah, Carl says yes. So listen, I'm going to go in a few minutes here, but the day remains bearish. We're not seeing it yet, but it looks like that's where the big money wants to take us, is down to the lows, because all these highs have already been flushed out last week. So the liquidity is down at the lows. And that could mean Thursday's close and Thursday's low and then Friday's low. And it could be a little bit of a journey. And in fact, that's exactly what we're seeing, I think. Let me go take a look. Now that I mention it, I think we bounced off of one of those lows. We bounced off of, not really. We did not bounce off of a key area, which would have been at least Thursday's close. But we have blasted through Friday's close. But we need to get through Thursday's close, open rather, which is a weak key level. Basically Thursday's lows and Friday's lows. There's going to be a ton of liquidity down there. And if we can't get down there today, we'll get there tomorrow. But we're going to be bearish on the day for most of the day. Now, I'm hoping for a low risk pullback in the downtrend entry here, so that I can put my money on that and be wrong and be on the positive side of expected value by the way I played that every time. So it may seem like the market goes bullish for a bit here, but really it's pulling us up into a better risk reward entry. Somebody said, I don't think anyone who bought above 300 stayed in to this point. I think those are exactly the people who stay in to this point. If they were smart enough to not be staying into this point, then they would have been smart enough probably not to get it above 300. Although I suppose you could have had people getting it on continuation. That's true. But then, they're not crying at all because they got out probably at a profit. GCT coming back up over VWAP, and VERU has just made new highs. All right. Oh my goodness. And Carvana broke below 7. It's now at 670. What a story. What a story. Yeah. What a drop. It's almost sad that it has a green day, you know, because it gives anybody hope. It's just, they should do the right thing and just file for bankruptcy right now and delist today, and save shareholders some money, or announce that they're going to, at least, for people. Can you short Carvana? You can get puts on it. But if you do, make sure that it's high delta, like 70 or 80 delta. Otherwise, you're going to be paying excess premium right now. So on the total move from the high to the low during the market open here, I'm looking for about a 70% retracement to get entry. Because even if it doesn't re-break lows, it'll likely retest those lows. And at that point, you've got a 3-to-1. You've got just a 3-to-1. Matthew says, I thought it was interesting that the funeral company, SCI, said on their earnings call that the spike in deaths that occurred because of COVID has not subsided. Wow. But that the continued increase in deaths is no longer due to COVID. Okay, that's weird. That's really spooky. Maybe it's due to vaccination. Oh, that's what somebody just said. Yep, it's the jab. Okay, we're getting some nice spikeage on the market. Nice pullback in this downtrend. If it ends up reversing and becoming a long, then that will make the day simply range bound and expanding a little bit. And I probably won't even try and get along, but gonna try and get this short here. It's coming into it now. There it is. I'm in on one system, and I'm in on another system, and I'm almost in on trading view. I think I missed it by a micron. Here it comes. There we go. All right, I'm in on another system. So that's the kind of risk reward, low drawdown risk entry you want to be looking for. Ideally, the 70% retracement of the total move. And then if we are in a downtrend, and basically that's the thesis we're on, that we're going to be hunting Friday's lows, and we've got a very good risk reward here. And as we spoke about on Thursday night's class, it doesn't matter if you sell, scalping through the move, your total risk reward, is the same for the total journey. So, you can play it, scalped to remain defensive. And just because, maybe the fourth scalp says that, you only got 2-to-1, doesn't mean that in total, you didn't get 10-to-1. That's It's like you got to think more like a coach and less like a trader on your account. Less like a single player and more like a team. Abundance of boomers. Can I look at SPY? It's the same. You know, I'm watching SPY. It's putting in the same shapes, same movement. But the Qs and NASDAQ move 31% more than SPY does. So you make more money by trading the Qs. SPY. I'm sorry, NASDAQ. Yeah, it's looking like a good entry so far, Ben, but you know, it could reverse. Let's see. How's VERU? Let's take a look. All right, VERU doing some pullback. That's okay. And GTC looking all right. Certainly, if you can get over the high of the day, 660 roughly, then that's an extra confirmation of some strength. VERU and GCT seem to be where it's at. On the 1 minute chart, we're looking very bullish here. So I'll probably stop out of this trade in 1 second. Yeah, right, man. Well, I mean, it doesn't mean I won't get back in though. If it were to break below this pivot down here or put in some kind of bearish sign. So I'm going to get out right there at a slight break even or profit, however you want to put that. On one account, I got 2 accounts. Okay, and now I'm out on the second account. The third account, for a second there, I thought I wasn't in, but I was at exactly break even. Pushing down now. So you can kind of like head and shoulder in this area. Put in that shelf type entry. Do you remember that, Ben? I don't know if you saw any of those classes on that. And certainly if it breaks down this point here, you know, be looking to get in on a slight pullback. That would be shelf break. Still in on my third count. Okay, there we go. I'm going to cut out it. Like I basically made in that account back. Well, if it can exit, there we go. Made back everything that I had to pay in the other 2 accounts. So worked out. Break even attempt. And there it's breaking lows now. So now it may continue. But I'm going to go ahead and take my first break of the day. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay on top of GCT and VERU. Yes, sir. Be back in a few, and just go ahead and head into the momentum channels, the member chat channel, and active trader lounge if you like. Oh, don't forget market trading. Pales in there probably trading. Have a good one. Later, guys. And BTU still right at entry. So, you know, it's not under threat. It's just trying to shake off the fleas. Yeah.